Welcome back to part 3 of our live training series here. We're going to be taking a look at dialing in a Honda K-Series engine with a Haltech Elite and individual throttle body. So we're going to be working in an Alpha N strategy. Now in this tutorial, we're specifically taking a look at getting our engine to fire up and run, dialing in our idle control, fuel, spark timing, checking our sync between our Elite and our engine using a timing light. So we have a lot of things to discuss here. Let's jump in so we can check out all of these details. Welcome back to our live training session. We're going to be taking a look in this tutorial at how to get our engine to fire up and run using our Haltech Elite. We have a bunch of things to talk about here, and I need to go in and make sure that we're covering everything in this training module. We can actually go back in and fill in some information in our base map that we did not complete in the last 2 tutorials. That's our fuel density value for petrol and ethanol. That's also going to be our fuel flow versus base injector pressure, or the injector pressure differential. And then we also have our baro compensation that's absolutely needed when we do an Alpha N fueling strategy. We need to go back in and fill those in the beginning of the tutorial here. Then we're going to go work on getting our engine to fire up and run. We're going to talk about how to sort through the mechanical base idle control here with our individual throttle bodies. We're going to sort out our fuel and spark timing and our cranking fuel, making sure all of that is 100% so the engine can crank, fire and run, and maintain a steady, consistent idle, which will allow us to do and move into the next tutorial doing our part throttle cruise tuning with our Alpha N individual throttle bodies. We also will be taking a look at the very last portion of the tutorial here, setting up the trigger offset using a timing light and verifying that the ignition timing as we command it from the Haltech is going to match to what the engine is seeing. This is an option you always want to check. Again, with a timing light, you don't want to go in and leave this out and skip that because you could be off 5, 10, 20 degrees of timing, which can be a substantial difference in power output or putting the engine in unsafe conditions if your timing is actually more advanced than what you're thinking from your tables. So we definitely want to do that trigger offset check with a timing light. Again, we're going to look at that at the back end of the tutorial. So the first thing we need to do here is actually go in and upload our base file to the Haltech Elite. So I'm actually connected live with the Elite right now. We can see I have data streaming here on my screen, and the file that's loaded in here is not the base file that we've built. We need to go and replace this file with the file that we've created. So that's going to require us to do an import upload option with our NSP software. So we need to be online. We can see we're online now and we're streaming data. I'm going to simply go up here to File, and then I'm going to go in here to Import Upload. That's going to allow us to choose the file and import either specific bits of the file or just upload the entire file. So let's go ahead and do the upload option. Import or upload doesn't matter. Same idea here in terms of sourcing the file and going through the process. I'm gonna go down here and we're looking for the folder that we've created, EPA EP3 ITB K24. So a bunch of jumbling of letters, but obviously this is the project folder that we've created here. So in here we've saved our base cal, that's the base map that we've created. So we're gonna go ahead and click open. This is gonna now open up the file and allow us to choose what we wanna bring in. Now there's an upload all option right here. That's what we wanna choose. We're gonna bring all of this data in to our Elite. So we could go in and choose specific bits of information. So if you have a table from one file that works really well and you want to bring it into your existing file, you can just import that specific table, or a whole bunch of random tables. You have the option to do that. I'm going to bring in all of the data from that base map. Again, I'm going to overwrite whatever is in the Elite right now, which is not going to be relevant to what we're trying to calibrate and tune. This is going to be the same exact situation when you begin your calibration process with your vehicle. You're going to have to connect to the Elite and upload one of the base files from Haltech. You'll be doing the exact same thing here. So you want to use the upload all option, not the import selected items. So let's go to upload all. Now this is going to take about 20-30 seconds for it to bring all this data into the Elite and essentially write that file and all of the changes. So we'll be patient allowing that to do that. We're going to have to do a restart on the Elite once it completes that process, and then we can finally connect to it and start to evaluate a few things. Now we need to go through a sensor data check. We'll do that after we apply these certain things, density, injector information, and baro compensation. After we apply that, we'll do the sensor check, and then we'll make sure everything's in order, everything's wired right and functional, and then we'll fire up our engine and see what we have. Okay, so it looks like that brought all of the data in, and I have to go do a reboot here, so I'm gonna go ahead and click this reboot required, and that should allow me to now go in here to field tuning, and now we can see that we are connected again. We're live with the ECU, and this table is now going to be what we've created in that last the base calibration file tutorial. So fuel load is my load input to the table, which is going to be Alpha N strategy based. This is throttle position based. I can see right here 0% is going to be what we are seeing, and then I can go, that's on our throttle, and then I can go all the way to 100, and we can see it sweeping back and forth in the table. This is what it's indexing for our volumetric efficiency values via throttle angle here. So we know that that base map has been uploaded. So before we jump in and take a look at anything else in terms of our sensor data check, let's go in and fix the few things that we haven't populated correctly in the base file. Let's start off with our fuel density. So if we go back here to main and go into our navigation tree, and we go here to fuel tuning, let's go to actually engine configuration to fuel system, primary fuel density. Now this is where we need to go and repopulate our value. The value that Haltech has in here, this 737.2, it's at pure petrol fuel. It's the density for pure petrol fuel. We want to populate this because I have a flex fuel sensor and I'm accounting for the variations in ethanol content. Even though I'm not going to do any flex tuning on this, I still have the flex sensor input it because it does give me a little additional data to take a look at, also allowing me to auto-correct if my fuel blend changes for some reason. If I get a little bit higher ethanol concentration in my fuel system, it'll automatically compensate for that and account for that. We need to account for our 100% ethanol fuel composition value in terms of our primary density. So this is something I actually had to look up. It's 789.45. So let's go ahead and enter that in here. I do want to mention something real quick. Under fuel system, thanks for checking out our teaser clip. If you want to see the rest of this video and more than 500 hours of current EFI training we have to offer, make sure you click right here. If you want to go and check out more teaser clips from this training course, click here. And you don't want to miss any of the videos we're going to be releasing on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and click here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.